Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be this fun pastel floral swirly nail design. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to call this yet. This is another one of those designs where I didn't really have a specific theme in mind per se. I just had like some colors I wanted to use and a specific stamping plate that I thought would be really pretty, and I kind of just threw on a design, as well as doing a different style of crystal placement. I'm not really sure, well, more like charm placement, weren't really crystals. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I saw it in a photo on Pinterest. I don't know who the initial poster or creator of it was. I kind of just saw it while I was scrolling, and then it kind of stuck in my mind and I couldn't find it again later. So unfortunately I cannot give credit, but it's definitely not my design, and I think I like it. Maybe I did it wrong or just used the wrong style of beads. You'll have to let me know when we get to it. But I'm starting off by doing this very light pink color from Madame Glam. It's white with like just the tiniest hint of pink, and I'm doing that on all of the nails. And now on two of the nails, I'm just going to add these little glitter bits over here, and these glitter mix kind of had like the green, blue, and pink that I wanted to use with a bit of iridescent colors onto it mixed in, so it worked out really well. I like how it came out. It's really cute. And then on this nail over here, you'll see that like I was kind of just picking up the glitter randomly, and then from the second pot I wasn't getting enough of the pink and green that I wanted to show through, so I kind of like went in specifically and kind of like purposely picked up the exact colors that I wanted and placed them down over here because I wasn't getting it just by randomly sticking in my brush. And now I'm going to encapsulate these so that I have a smooth surface, because I'm going to be doing some stamping on top of it, and I'm using this 5-in-1 top coat from Betsy. I love this for encapsulating nails. It's really thin. It's a very high viscosity, so it's quite thin and it works really well. And it's perfect for encapsulating because it doesn't add too much bulk to the nail. And then I just turn over the nail to create a nice apex, make sure everything is covered, and then I'm going to file anything that's been sticking off and buff up the surface so that we can do some stamping on top of it onto a nice clear surface. And then once I am going to be done with that, I'm going to matte top coat these nails. Again, I like stamping on top of a matte top coat. I just find it's easier. And also initially I was thinking of doing this design with matte top coat over everything, and I wanted to see what these glitters looked like with a matte top coat before I made that final decision. I mean, I could always go in and put a shiny top coat over top if I didn't like it, but I wanted to kind of experiment and see what that matte top coat looked like. So I've been using this one from Morovan, and it's really nice. I like it, but I just don't think it's as good as my Beetles one. So I'm gonna use it up because I have it open. I had ran out of my Beetles ones, but I think I like the Beetles one just a little bit more. It gives it a much more velvety surface. And now I'm just going to be doing some stamping. So the stamping plate over here from Clear Jelly Stamper was the inspiration for this design. It was actually a little bit of a confusing stamping plate. I'm sorry that you can like see kind of my head a little bit and also the camera. I'm not really sure the best way to film these stamping videos where there isn't too much reflection or too much going on in the stamping plate, because you can really just see everything, and it kind of makes it a little bit confusing and a little bit messy. It's hard to really see what's going on sometimes because of all the reflectiveness. So if you have a suggestion of how I can keep the stamping plate in frame while not getting so much reflection or glare or just everything from around, let me know, because this is something that like it's always been a problem just because it's so reflective, and I just don't know the best way to fix it without having the stamping plate off to the side and then you can't see what I'm doing. But anyway, this stamping plate was a little bit confusing to me because there's so much going on. But for the most part, the designs and the layers that go well, that like match together, were sitting next to each other. So I kind of had to, sometimes between like the stamps, which is what I'm trying to say, sometimes between each like stamping image, I had to like take the plate up to my face and look at it and just be like, what goes where? Who goes where? Sometimes I made mistakes and it was just like, this actually doesn't match the image that I'm putting down. So this one was a little bit more of a confusing plate because so many of the images look the same and it's really hard to figure it out. But for the most part, they were all next to each other, and I just kind of took my time finding the images that worked well together and went together. So yeah, I don't show any of that on the camera, obviously, but I'm just saying that to know that like it's okay if you are unsure of how things work. It's okay if you need to take some time to just refocus your brain a little bit and just be like, you know, not everything is always as perfect. I do edit these videos quite a lot. I mean, the video is definitely sped up, and sometimes I keep mistakes in if I feel like they are valuable, but you know, a valuable lesson or a way to learn from it. But sometimes it's just like, well, that's not really necessary to see. So Yeah, I'm just going on with the rest of this stamping. I feel like I haven't done stamping in a while, which is why I was kind of interested in doing this plate. Initially I thought I was just going to hand draw, but I was like, you know what? I haven't really touched my stamping stuff in a while because I've been really into doing hand painted things, which is great because I think I've definitely been building up some of my hand painting skills. But I felt like some of my stamping things were just getting neglected now that I've been doing so much of the hand painting things. So I flipped through my collection of stuff and I found this plate, and I thought it would be really cute because it's like florally, but not too obviously floral, just like very subtle florals. And I thought it would be a great way, as we are thankfully getting closer to the spring season. I'm so excited for warm weather. I do not do well in the cold. I don't know if you can see me a little bit in the reflection of the stamping plate, but I have like a giant fuzzy hood on. I'm wearing like this giant fuzzy sweater because it was cold, and I am so excited that we are finally inching towards spring. I do not do well in the cold. I don't love it. Now over here in the center of this stamping plate, there was this large like swirly design that didn't really have any kind of layers. It was just like a single design by itself. So I'm using it in a bunch of different colors, like the pink and the green over here, just to kind of fill in the gaps of this set. And now on this nail over here, I'm going to add just a couple of little swirls. I didn't want it to be anything too complicated, but I wanted to make sure that it fit in with the rest of the design because we are going to be doing a crystal gem placement over top. So I don't want to make it too busy, but I still want it to be cohesive and fit in with the rest of the design. So I'm just stamping down a couple of images here. And I think it looked really, really cute. And now I'm using this detail paint from Home of Nail Art. This is in the shade Winter Rose, and I wanted to add a little bit of swirl and glitter detail without being too aggressive and without taking up too much of the design itself. I wanted, again, to make sure it was cohesive and yet still had its own individuality in the set as well. So I'm just doing this cute little swirl design. Like I said, initially I was thinking about hand painting it, and I still kind of had that on my mind. So I decided to just add in a bit of hand painting by myself. It's not anything too crazy. It's literally just a couple of swirls, but I still wanted to add something like that, and I wanted to add in a bit of glitter to the rest of the nail design because the initial two nails that we did that had glitter in it, and I just wanted to make sure that the glitter flowed throughout the rest of the nail design. And then over here, this is actually the Makartt Rhinestone Glue. I depotted it into this empty pot from Betsy that I had because I felt like I had been using too much rhinestone glue for a lot of my designs, and it was starting to like make the nails a little bit bulky, and it was hard to like keep a cohesive and smooth design once I was finished, because you can sometimes see a lot of the rhinestone glue sticking out from under this nail set, and I felt like using a brush to apply the gel would be a little bit more smooth and you wouldn't be able to see it once the set was finished. So far I've really been liking it. I've seen a lot of people actually depot their rhinestone glue from Makartt specifically into different pots because their bottle actually broke. Sometimes the nozzle, I've seen people say like the nozzle either got like clogged or like it exploded and just like broke off. And I found that interesting because I actually depotted it because, well, not because it didn't break, but even though it didn't break, because I actually found that applying it with a brush was just easier. You can see that it's much smoother. You don't see any of the glue sticking out afterwards, and I can be a lot more precise with the placement and the amount that I'm using, and I've really been liking it. So that's just a little suggestion if you are finding that the nozzle of your rhinestone glue, whatever kind you're using, is a little bit not precise enough, or you're using a bit too much of it and you don't really love how it looks, maybe try depotting it, or maybe even if you don't depot the whole thing, just like squeezing some out onto a palette and using a brush to apply it. So for this crystal design placement, rhinestone placement, like I said, I saw this design on Pinterest. It was really, really pretty. Again, I don't know where I saw it because I just kind of scrolled past, didn't really open or look at the design, but somehow it stuck in my brain, and it was really pretty. So they did it more with like crystals as opposed to these little pearls that I'm using, but I wanted the pearls. I didn't feel like the crystals kind of matched the design enough, and it was like these kind of like looped over here you can see I finished off the rest of it off camera. It kind of looked like a brooch. It was really pretty. I don't know if I love how it looked, but my camera was dying and I didn't want to have to finish off the rest of the design and wait for the camera to charge, so I did the rest of it off camera. But let me know what you think, and I'll see you all in my next